Hey guys, welcome back to BA Adventures.
Hi!
So today we are going over our top 10 tips and tricks of
Magic Kingdom!
at Walt Disney World Resort. So,
Come with us.
hey guys, we wanted to stop and let you know that this video is brought to you by Expedia.com. We use it all the time for all of our stays here, especially this hotel that we're staying in now.
We use Expedia every single time we book a hotel just because it is so easy to book, budget friendly, and you get rewards.
Absolutely. We love it. So hit the link in the description box below to book your stay with us today. And with that, let's get back to the video. So today we are going over our top 10 tips and tricks of the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. We feel like these tips and tricks are helping out our viewers like you plan their trip to different theme parks that we use and everything, and make their trip smoother, a lot more fun, and easier.
Not only that, but not every park at Walt Disney World Resort is created equally. And you should not treat it equally. They all have unique things to them, popular rides, etc. Great food, all that kind of stuff. So
Agreed. Now, we are not the kind of people that will walk into Disney World and go in a circle around the map. So if you are those people, you can mute us or turn us down really low, but please watch at the end of the video.
We're a zigzagger. We walk
Yes.
the most.
Yes, we like to go all over the place a little bit. It helps us see different parts of the park, in my opinion. But it also helps us do everything that we want to get done efficiently. And when I say efficiently, I mean that we were able to do everything that we wanted to get done, and then we had like half a day left of what do you want to do now?
Well, I wouldn't say everything we wanted to get done, just because you can never do everything that you want to do at Disney World, because it is massive. However, we got the top 2 things that we wanted to do.
We got our must
Yes.
do things done.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is what I mean by that. And we had half a day to do whatever we wanted left over. So, we went in like champs and completely, handled it.
It's not a sprint, it is a marathon.
Something she needs to remember.
We will get into that in other videos.
Yes, we will. So, that being said, starting with tip number 1 is
virtual queues. These are the queues that are going to get you in line through virtually. So you don't have to stand there until your boarding pass number is called. The big rides that have that currently is Tron and
Guardians of the Galaxy,
yes, I went
Cosmic
totally
Rewind.
blank.
So, to explain the virtual queue, if you are unfamiliar with it, a virtual queue is you are getting on the app and you are getting a boarding pass, so to speak. And then you will get a notification or an alert on your phone, and it'll tell you when and what time they expect you to come back to get in line. That way you are not standing there for 5 to 6 hours waiting to get on this ride when you could have done some other things. And I will say that these virtual queues have been very nice for us, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy and Tron.
In the morning. For sure.
Yeah. However, Tron was the first time we rode it. It took a while for us to get through the line because it was a busy day that day at the park.
We were in the afternoon too.
And we were in the afternoon. We did miss the morning one. We didn't get one for the morning, and she'll explain that in a second. But I will say that we were there in that line for maybe 45 minutes, which it could have been up to like 4 or 5 hours total, because we got our virtual queue at 1 o'clock for that. And we didn't get in line until like 4, 5 o'clock, something like that.
We stood in line for a good hour at least.
Like it was right before sunset. So like those 4 to 5 hours that we had and if we would have got in line right at 1 o'clock, could have been spent elsewhere. And thankfully for the virtual queue, they were.
Because you're virtually in line.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it seems.
So you're able to get in line and ride it and those things. So I'm going to let you explain that 7 a.m., 1 p.m. sort of deal.
Those are big times you need to be paying attention to. You need to be on the Walt Disney app, Disney Experience app, at least 5 minutes before that time. So 5 minutes before 7, 5 minutes before 1. And you need to be watching the time. One great thing about your smartwatch is you get the seconds on it. So while that was clocking down, I was like, all right, 58, 59, start hitting join that virtual queue. Make sure that all your people that are going to be riding that ride is in your party as well before you do that, okay?
Or somebody's going to miss out.
And that's going to be a big deal for your family.
Can I interject something here real quick?
Sure.
So what we did is I got on at 6:55 or 12:55, and I was on the phone looking at it. And you can only get one per day.
Yeah.
So I will say that riding Tron at night is going to be different than riding it during the day. Just for the lighting and aesthetic feel. Riding Guardians of the Galaxy in the daytime or nighttime has no
indoor
effect. It is a completely indoor coaster. So ride it whenever. The only thing that's different about it is you'll get a different song that plays. That being said, the 5 minutes ahead of time I got on the app, I pressed refresh one time and waited. I had the app sitting there waiting, and we would check it every so often. And then at 6:58 and 12:58, I started tapping refresh. Just like this. I would just sit there and keep tapping it as it refreshed. It was actually more like this. It wasn't this fast. I wish it was that fast, but it was just more like this. That gave us a better chance for it to pop up.
No, when there was one time we were not ready and we missed out in the morning, 7 a.m., which was the Tron ride. We had to lock into it in the afternoon, which was the busier time there, which was unfortunate for us. However, when you're ready at that 7 a.m., there's no problem. You should have no problem getting on there if you're doing what we did.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm always nervous that we're not going to make it. That's just me being an anxious person. But we had no problem, honestly. So he was doing it. I was doing it. Our friend Megan was doing it because she was included in there. And we all were punching, making sure we could get into that. Even on the Skyliner, I believe, at one point we were doing it. We had no issues whatsoever.
Now, this includes your extended park hours as well, with the 1 o'clock time, unless it's a party, like a paid for extra event. Then those open at, is it 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock?
I'm not sure.
I think it's 4 o'clock for the parties, because that's when you can start showing up to the park to get in line. So at 3:59, if you've got those like Mickey's Not So Scary or Mickey's Christmas, what's that called?
It's the Christmas
Very
party,
Merry Christmas Party. If you have tickets to those things at 4 o'clock, 3:59, start tapping that refresh button.
Make sure you're on there early because, like I said, we weren't on there early at that 7 a.m. and we missed out, and I panicked because it was our first day at Magic Kingdom. We wanted to ride Tron. We were concerned that, oh my gosh, it's that serious. We need to be, prepared. And yes, you do need to be prepared. It is serious if you want to get on there, but you're not going to have a problem if you're prepared.
Agreed. So big first tip there.
Yeah, starting out with a bang.
Yeah, starting out with a huge bang. All right, so tip number 2 is...
it's going to be background to tip number 2 is going to be a little bit information about Genie Plus. Genie Plus is on the Disney Experience app. It is basically Disney's answer to having the Fast Pass.
And it does come with an extra charge.
Yes, there is a surcharge depending on how busy it is, what park you're going to. It's going to bump it up a little bit. We went during the Christmas time. It was higher.
A little bit higher. Not where it was like during Christmas break time, like from Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas to like New Year's Eve. It shot all the way up to $39 total at Magic Kingdom. We did not. I think the most that we paid for a day was $27, $28, somewhere in there. So,
it just shows the volume of the park, of popularity of that park. That's going to be that day.
Yeah, that day and time and stuff like that. So,
and
that's for each person.
Yes.
Not just like both of us was that. It was each person.
So, leading in from Genie Plus is, if you're using Genie Plus and you're going to the Christmas time, your first booking you want to have at Magic Kingdom is going to be the Jingle Cruise. It is the most popular ride. We did get a Lightning Lane for Genie Plus on one day. We walked right on, basically.
Yeah.
One day we did not get a Genie Plus for the Jingle Cruise.
Okay, so that's I know.
Because Brady really wanted to ride it again.
I thought it was going to be different at night. It was not different at night. I'm not telling you to not go stand in line and wait for this ride, but ride times change in an instant, and I learned the hard way.
We all did.
So this could be like a little bonus tip, but it also said 40 minutes for the wait. We waited 2 hours and 10 minutes for this ride. And I was like, we were 3/4 of the way through the line at one point, and I was like, no, we're riding this. I did not stand here and waste this time to do this. But we had all that time kind of built in still, so it really didn't hurt. I wasn't that upset by it. Well, I was upset by having to wait that long, and I was lied to, but it happens, okay?
You're at a theme park at a busy time.
So basically what I'm saying, this little tiny little bonus tip in there is don't get frustrated if that happens. Grin and bear it. Go on. You're going to have plenty of time to make up.
So if you're going during the Christmas time, like I said, your first booking should probably be
Jingle Cruise.
Jingle Cruise, if you value that. Now, right after the Jingle Cruise, I booked Peter Pan's Flight. Peter Pan's Flight is a super popular ride. So
It's
if
an
you're
original
going,
ride.
yes, OG. And so if you are going to Magic Kingdom and you're not going during the Christmas time, I would definitely book Peter Pan's Flight. Leading after that is tip number 3.
And that, well, before we jump to tip number 3, let's talk about these lightning lanes a little bit.
Yeah.
Because these lightning lanes, there are some that you cannot get and you will have to purchase individually.
Yeah.
So be wary of that. There are certain rides at different parks that you will have to purchase an individual lightning lane for that cost extra on top of the Genie Plus. And that is due to the popularity of the ride.
And that's only if you want to ride that ride with a lightning lane. You don't have to purchase it. You can go wait in line.
Stand and wait in line if you want to.
We waited in line most of the time. There was one lightning lane that was not included that we did purchase.
Yeah, and we will get into that when we get to talking about that park. But anyway, in Magic Kingdom, you have 2 individual lightning lanes that you can purchase, and that is for Tron.
If you want to schedule a time that you want to go to that ride, that's kind of a great benefit. So if you want to ride it at night, then you can schedule that time at night.
Yes, and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yeah.
So to bypass those things, like we said, jump on, get the virtual queue. It's very seamless. You may be waiting at most an hour with the virtual queue boarding pass call-in, and then with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, this now ties into tip number 3.
You should, if you're going to rope drop and you're staying on resort like we did, we immediately booked it to Seven Dwarfs. You're going to have a crowd of people. Not going to lie. Everyone's going to be doing the same thing. However...
Not everybody. Some will go to a different ride.
Yeah.
But
majority of
people are headed for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train so that they can get on it and get it out of the way.
And you're not riding, or you're not standing there for 80 plus minutes. Later on in the day.
120 to 140 at one point.
Don't do that. Just rope drop it and call it good.
Rope drop it, call it good, or wait until right after fireworks and stand over by the ride.
And basically rope drop it again. So anyways, Seven Dwarfs is a very great family coaster. Very popular, obviously. So try and rope drop that. And just a little bonus.
What?
Just a little bonus tip from Seven Dwarfs. Once you get off of it, you're right next to Space Mountain. You might as well book it over there.
Kinda.
We basically did that every time. Walked on a Space Mountain.
Yeah.
So
some people, that's one of them that they rope drop is Space Mountain because of its popularity as well. So some will go over there and rope drop it. However, we had no problem going straight from Seven Dwarfs to Space Mountain and riding.
Yeah.
So, and I also think people rope drop Haunted Mansion, right? Or is it Peter Pan?
Peter Pan.
It's Peter Pan. They'll rope drop Peter Pan and go up and around and go to that. So, yeah. So anyway, so that ties in also even to tip number 4 with Genie Plus and your lightning lanes of...
You need to set an alarm for your Genie Plus. It's going to tell you at the very top of the app when your next time to book is. And so make that alarm. So then that way you're not wasting any time to book it again. Okay?
Or forgetting.
Yeah. Because there was sometimes I forgot, like 30 minutes later, an hour later, I'm like, oh shoot, I could have booked something. So I popped on and booked something real quick while I'm standing in line.
And here's why, is there are lightning lanes that will sell out. Like, especially...
It'll make its cap.
Yeah, it'll hit its spot, and it's like, all right, no more. Sorry, nobody else can have a lightning lane. There is, Slinky Dog over at Hollywood Studios is notorious for that. Super notorious for that. So, I'm not sure which one at Magic Kingdom is notorious for that right now.
I'd say Peter Pan. Potentially during what season you go. Haunted Mansion, obviously during Halloween season, that kind of thing. Jingle Cruise was notorious.
Yes.
During Christmas, obviously.
Yes, that's the one. That's one I was like. Yeah.
So it depends on what season you're going, obviously, but just pay attention.
Yeah, just make sure that you have a plan set ahead of time before going, so that way you can have the most enjoyable time you can.
Yeah.
So the happiest place on earth. So. All right, so tip number 5. Oh, I like this one. Can I talk about this one?
Yes!
Okay. So, tip number 5. If many of you know me, well, especially those close to me, but if you've been following along, my favorite food ever is a cheeseburger. I know. You would think, oh, steak, oh, ribs. No, heck no. Cheeseburgers are my favorite thing. Okay? That being said, now, this is weird because Cajun food is my favorite kind of food, but cheeseburgers tops all of that. So, but, rambling a bit here, I'm going to get back on track. So this snack here is at the entrance to Adventureland. When I heard about these and their popularity, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to try those. Okay, these are cheeseburger egg rolls. Okay. Now, you guys are probably looking at gross.
No, it's so good.
Yes. So, basically, the wrap that they have with the egg roll, it's fried and everything. It doesn't have all of the, like, lettuce and carrots and stuff in it. It's literally hamburger meat, some melted cheese. Well, it's shredded cheese, which ends up getting melted with some ketchup and mustard on the inside. At least some ketchup and mustard flavoring. I don't know if... It was there, like the taste was there. And then it comes with like some burger sauce for you to dip it into and eat it that way. So we gotta say, probably my favorite snack, and that's something that sells out. And we almost forgot about them. And I was like, halfway through the day after lunch, I was like, we need to find these things. 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 And it was dark, and I'm like, oh no,
and they sell out too.
I know. I was worried about them selling out. Luckily, they didn't. So good.
And one big thing is that it's not on the map where the stand is. They are on the entrance into Adventureland towards the right when we came in. If you don't understand where that is, just ask a cast member. That's what we did because we could not find where it was. We knew it was near Adventureland. We're in Adventureland walking around. All over
Adventureland. And then somebody goes, yeah, it's near the entrance of it. And I was on the wrong entrance of it over by, what used to be Splash Mountain. Looking over there, and we realized that it's actually near the front. We went, oh, okay. So, still though, we still got them the best snack that I had there.
So good.
By far. However, since it is 2024, and you are getting the dining plan, they are not included on that dining plan.
Oh, and we need to talk about price of it too. Actually, there is 2 rolls that you.
Oh yeah, you do get 2 rolls. Yes.
And I believe they are $10. It's kind of pricey.
I thought it was 8.
So they do cost $9.50, which with taxes and everything, it's about $10. So.
Yeah. So, but pretty pricey snack, but totally worth it.
He took one. I took one. We had no problem eating it.
Yeah. They used to give you 3, so.
Sucks that we don't get 3.
Unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunate.
Leading after that, because that's the best snack in the park, I think
So, are we on tip number 6?
Yes.
Tip number 6.
I think the best restaurant that we ate at was Liberty Tree Dining.
Ooh, that place was good.
So, it is an all-you-can-eat. and it is very Thanksgiving.
It's family
meal.
style.
Yeah.
It's family style meal,
Yeah.
kind of like Aunt Granny's at Dollywood, or if you've ever been to a Paula Deen restaurant.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They bring you the food to you, so you're not going on a buffet line or anything. The food is freshly cooked. You don't have to worry about getting old food that's just sitting under a heat lamp. It is very Thanksgiving mealed.
It is.
You tell them what you want, they're going to bring it to you. If nobody likes to eat the amazing mac and cheese, you can have that whole bowl to yourself. They don't care.
Yeah, I'll make myself sick on that mac and cheese.
Oh my gosh. That's the best mac and cheese I think I've ever ate.
It's pretty good stuff.
But yeah, it's a great value to eat and stuff your face.
At lunchtime it is.
Yes, lunchtime is cheaper than dinner time. Lunchtime has the same items on the menu as dinner time. So if you want to save that buck, go at lunchtime, obviously, because it is a cheaper one.
And if you are a Chase Disney holder,
Credit card holder,
like ourselves, we do have one, which helped us get some special photos and stuff like that. It also gave us a discount on our meal.
10%. I never want to encourage anyone to get a credit card if you cannot be responsible with it. However, I believe we are responsible credit card holders, and we certainly used it and got our benefit off of it.
Definitely. So anyway, let's move on to that food was good also, by the way.
And you can
I didn't mean to cut myself off there, but it was great. It would have definitely been something that I was looking forward to for a Thanksgiving meal. Turkey, ham, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes. Did it have corn? And green beans. Corn and green beans. It was all just phenomenal.
Also, I do want to add, I am not a big turkey eater for Thanksgiving. I don't like dry meats. That meat was not dry.
No. Well, it wasn't the white meat. It was the dark meat.
Yes, but they would give you dark meat. And I have never ate so much turkey in my life because
she was about to go to sleep.
I literally told Brady, I just want to keep eating this turkey. I'm stuffed and I'm miserable, but I just want to keep eating it because I enjoyed the fact that I could enjoy that meat. Yeah. So yeah, that's one little tidbit. Yeah.
So, all right, on to tip number 7.
Okay.
Tip number 7 is.
So tip number 7 is gonna be the fireworks. The show starts at 8 o'clock, but you need to get there early if you're going to watch it near the castle or try and see that castle. There's also usually shows right before it, too. Yep. So you need to be paying attention to when those are. Though some people do clear out during that time period, so you can kind of get a spot. But I would definitely get there early. I believe we got there about an hour early to get a good spot. We did make a rookie mistake and stand right up on the castle.
I don't think it was a rookie mistake. I think it was just something that we assumed
was the best location. And we should have been more on Main Street.
Well, I wouldn't say that far back. Okay. So what she's trying to say is that we had noticed that they do projections onto the castle, which are great. If you sit further back away from it, more towards the partner statue,
or one of the hubs even.
Or one of the hubs. The little towers that are down on the bottom in the middle, they also receive projections. And if you are even further back on Main Street now receives projections as well. So I thought it might be cool to see all of that, and I kind of did. But at the same time, it was the first fireworks show that I had ever seen for the castle. It's the third one that she's been involved in. Maybe, or
third.
The third. And she's always set up next to the castle.
We've always set up right up on that castle. And, I mean, granted, there was nobody in our way to see it. So that's a plus for us.
I did not... It's not that I did not enjoy it. I did. I loved it. I loved it. I just feel like we could have been further back. One thing that I did not like is there were people who, had their flash on their cameras trying to film it.
You don't need a flash on your camera to film that.
Yeah, you don't need a flash on your camera to film that. There's lights, literally explosion of lights. So that is a little bonus tip. Let's not. Just pay attention to what you're doing and keep in mind about the people around you. There are other families there trying to enjoy that as well. So there is that. That I did want to put in there. Probably the only thing I disliked about it was because somebody, literally 2 people down, had the bright light on their phone shining, and it's just I don't want that. But that's beside the point. I'm not trying to...
Well, and then eventually you just ignored it and you forgot it was there because you were
That
in
is true.
awe over this show.
It is true.
It is a spectacular show.
Yeah.
And then Tinkerbell.
And what I'm saying is don't let something like that ruin it for you.
So tip number 8. Okay. So tip number 8 is going to be take those breaks and watch those shows. So when I say shows, I'm talking about the Tiki Room. I'm talking about Carousel of Progress.
Tiki Room. What?
The American President's show. So those are great ways that, one, I'm getting off my feet because I get to sit down for a little bit.
There's some AC.
Yeah, AC, and it's a dark lit room.
Yes.
Probably the best napping place at Disney World is Carousel of Progress. You're literally sitting there in the dark.
And you're listening to Dad talk to you about everything.
The whole time, it's the same song over and over again. Great, big, beautiful tomorrow. You know, everybody knows it. So
or the People Mover. People Mover is a good one to sleep on, especially when you get stuck in Space Mountain and you can just hear the screams of people in the dark. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I think definitely don't miss out on those little shows. They are cute. They are cool. The Presidents of America was incredible to me. I was not expecting the animatronic to stand up. I was like, holy cow, this is awesome. I thought it was just an animatronic just going to sit there and talk. Yeah. And no, that was not
that thing stood up out of the chair.
Yeah.
And it was like, whoa.
Do you think that's real? No.
Who's that guy?
Do you think he's the real Abraham Lincoln?
He's the real. Was it Abe Lincoln that stood up? Okay.
So yeah, it's super cool though. You should definitely not miss out on those shows.
Yeah, definitely not. Totally worth it. The Tiki Room was a short, simple, like, get me off my feet for a few minutes, sit down sort of thing.
It was a cute show though, I thought.
It was. It really was. So, all right, tip number 9.
If you don't care for the fireworks show, don't watch it. Go ride those rides because everyone is all in one spot.
Yeah, your wait times are going to go so low during that fireworks show that it's not going to be like noticeable at all. You're just going to be like, oh yeah, hey. So.
But not only that, but you're still going to hear the music from the show piping through the sound speakers when you're in other areas.
Yes, you are.
We actually jumped on Pirates of the Caribbean at that time, and I could still hear the music going for the show.
Yeah, I think Brave was cool. Like one of the songs from Brave was playing when we walked in. Yeah. But like Pirates of the Caribbean was 10-minute wait.
Yeah. We basically walked on.
And we did walk right on, so it really wasn't that long. But I think it like maybe takes you 10 minutes to walk through the whole thing, and that's the wait. But I mean, that first night there with the fireworks stuff going off, and Pirates is probably my favorite ride at Magic Kingdom. And going and getting onto it and riding it twice in a day was really nice. So yeah. Anyway, final tip of the day, and that is pack your patience.
One of the most important ones.
Oh yes. So that kind of ties in with what I was saying earlier about the person with the light. Pack your patience. And when I say that is you're going to be waiting in line. This is one of the most popular resorts, if not the most popular resort
in America.
For theme parks in maybe even the world.
Possibly, yeah.
So, I mean, it is a place that has 6 parks, if you include the 2 water parks that are available. Well, there's 5 available. One's closed for refurbishment, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
They do their thing.
They do their thing. They're a water park. But anyway, that being said, packing your patience is huge because you are going to wait in line for a long time. You are going to have little kids running around. You are going to have little kids crying and screaming.
As an adult, you're going to feel like you're going to cry and scream, you know, because you're going to be tired.
You are going to be tired. Don't forget to drink water. That will help with packing your patience as well.
And I think when you're packing your patience, like, talk to people around you. We were actually at the we actually were at the castle waiting for the fireworks show, and a dad beside us, we started talking to him. He was super nice. So it was kind of cool to kind of see other people and just like people watch when you're waiting, because you can see the funniest things, you can hear the funniest conversations.
And we even had an awesome conversation waiting in the Seven Dwarfs mine train after the fireworks.
Our Canadian friends.
With some friends from Canada. They were just a super cute couple. And they flew down to go to Disney World for a couple days and flew back. And they were just so fun to talk to. So, but yeah, you are also going to hear some really stupid stuff said. And I say that very, very lightly. Because you're going to hear someone literally say something and you're going to look at them and go, really?
Because they're not packing their patience.
No, they're not. They're not, or they're upset by how much something costs. Or, I mean, I will say that I heard someone say, if you're going to pay X amount for a resort, you should get free tickets. Well, I felt like that was one of the dumbest things I had heard, because if you are going to pay that much for a resort, you could probably afford to pay for those tickets as well. So that's where I was coming from.
Everybody has opinions.
Everybody has opinions. Whether you think they are right, wrong, whatever, does not matter. It's more of a let it be, let it go, worry about you, because you are not on vacation with them.
Elsa is.
And that, yes. Elsa that crap. So, and that was my thing. I heard that, and I really, almost turned around to say something, and then I went, I don't know them. Let's just move on.
Someone's having a bad day. Let them have their bad day.
Yeah, it was just really, whatever. So, but yeah, you're going to hear kids complaining. You're going to see kids crying. There will even be a location where there's no alcohol in Magic Kingdom, though, right?
Except table service.
Except for table service. So you shouldn't see anybody who is under the influence there at Magic Kingdom, because you can't walk around with the alcohol there. It is the most popular park. It is the most popular park that parents will take their children to. So they kind of...
the iconic park.
Yeah, I mean, it has Cinderella's castle in the middle. It is the centerpiece for the whole thing. And it is the place that, and the reason that you will probably never see alcohol able to be roamed around is because of the amount of young children there. It caters to them more than, say, Epcot would.
And that's what Walt wanted.
That is what Walt wanted. So, anyway, that being said, those are our top 10 tips and tricks for Magic Kingdom at Disney World. Walt Disney World Resort.
Yes, it's the only park that is Walt Disney.
I know. It says Walt in the front of it. So anyway, if you guys want to stay along with this series of us talking about the different parks, we will be doing Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom as well. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that
bell notification button,
so that you guys don't miss any more of our theme park news, adventures, visits, or even just some fun stuff and top 10 tips and tricks. So with that,
bring on the next adventure.
bye guys.